What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of the Chi-Town Bar Down Podcast. We got a few things to cover today, so we're gonna jump right into it. We're just gonna be covering the last few games from the Hawks, some good things, some bad things, some very bad things. If we're talking about last game, first thing I want to jump into is just what everybody wants to hear about. Is just Bedard in general. He's gonna be the main focus of our season all along. We're gonna be a lottery team. We're gonna be a bad team. So as long as we see our guy doing good, I think that's all people care about right now. But so far, he's playing out of his mind. He's playing as advertised. So it's good to see. I think he's got four goals, 2 assists. He got one goal called back against the Bruins, I believe it was. So he's playing. I mean, he's all over the ice. He's getting his shots. He's getting his shot attempts. He's around in front of the net, so he's getting good looks. But he scored a couple nights ago against Arizona. He scored right away against Vegas too. So it's good to see him um, not just succeed, but kind of tune out some of the media because I know as an 18-year-old kid it can be tough with all the hype around you. The media's in your face 24/7. So I think as the season progresses, we're going to start to see some of that media attention fade away. Now, I mean, still not a lot, but we're going to start to see Connor get multi-point games. I think he's yet to get a multi-point game yet. So we know it's gonna happen sooner rather than later. So um, it's gonna take some time. Um, but anyways, I mean, Connor's he's playing really well. So that's all we want to see right now, as Hawks fans. Um, moving on just to some of the health. Hawks are a little depleted right now, especially with that top line winger to Connor Bedard, Taylor Hall. Um, he re-aggravated it. I think it was an upper body injury, if I remember correctly. I forget what game he aggravated against, but he's been out for a week and a half, 2 weeks now. So that's a big loss for the Hawks. And that's another thing. Going back to Bedard, I think not just myself, but other Hawks fans were worried about Bedard's development being impeded by some of his line mates. Obviously, Bedard can create his own shot, but in the NHL, you need help. But you can't just, it's not like the AHL anymore, the Regina Pats where Bedard, I mean, he could do anything he wants. You're playing against the best defenseman. You're going up against the other team's best guys, so you need help. And they've been mixing and matching lines, and it's just not really working as good as it could. I mean, they've had Donato with them, they've had Kurashev with them. I think they should move Reichel up with them permanently. Take Reichel out of the center position. He's not a center. He's not an NHL center. Um, but I'd like to see Reichel right alongside Bedard on that top line, along with Foligno. Foligno's had a really good year as well. But we do need Taylor Hall back. I mean, even though we're not expecting much success from the Hawks this year, it is still nice to have your core guys, your main guys healthy, just for entertainment purposes and the success and development of our young players. You need veteran guys like that. He's a former #1 overall pick. He's won a Hart Trophy. Um, I believe he's won a Hart. Um, but yeah, I mean, we need him back. And another big loss to the Hawks is rookie defenseman Alex Vlasic. This is a guy that I've talked about before. He's going to be a shutdown defender. He's going to go up against other teams' best scorers, best playmakers. So um, we need Vlasic back as soon as we can. He's played really well when he's been healthy. So if we can get him back, that's ideal. I believe, yeah, he's got a +4 plus minus, which is by far the best on the Hawks D core, and he's playing right up alongside. I think it was Connor Murphy. I think it was Connor Murphy because they got Seth Jones and Korshinsky on that top line. Um, talking about or Korshinsky himself. There's another young guy. He's another rookie that the Hawks. He's going to be hopefully here for a long time. I mentioned we need another Keithan Seabrook in Jalmerson. Those kind of D core guys on our back end. That's really what wins you Stanley Cups is the defense and blocking shots. And like I said, I like what I've seen out of Vlasic when he's been healthy. But Korshinsky, he's a little bit more of an offensive defenseman, kind of like that Cale Makar kind of guy. So he's around the net, a lot of shot attempts. His plus minus, not it's -8. He's not too efficient on the ice when he's out there right now, but I think we're going to start to see that get better. He's playing with Seth Jones, so things can only go up from there. Um, I mean, at times I've seen Korshinsky kind of struggle, look a little overwhelmed. Maybe he's a fast skater. He's young. He has a lot to learn still. So Kevin will be just fine. But it seems like through the first 3.5 weeks of the season, he's kind of just trying to find his footing, find his timing, like any young player. So not too worried there, but liking what I've seen so far of some of these young guys. Um, and then moving on to the goalie play. The goalie play, with the exception, I guess, if you could say Arizona, that was just a throwaway game right there. We can just ignore that. With the exception of that game, the Hawks goalie play has been really good. I like what I've seen out of Peter Mrazek. Peter Mrazek's a lot better this year compared to last year. Knock on wood. He's had a hell of a year to start, and then his countermate Arvid Soderblom. He's had a really good year too. I think Arvid's a little bit more of an aggressive goalie. Sometimes we'll see him come out of his net, and we see some goals go in that can't happen if you're in a playoff situation. So I think if we hone in his mental side of the game a little bit, then we're going to see a lower goals against and a higher save percentage, in my opinion. But overall, the goalies have kept the Hawks in a lot of games. I mean, that we're going to give up a lot of goals this year, as we've seen already. We've given up at least 4 or 5 goals, I feel like in 80-90% of our games. So not a recipe to success, but like I said, it's kind of expected with this young Hawks team. So and then just moving on I guess more to the defense. I'd like to see a little bit more aggressiveness out of the D-corps in general. We got 3 rookies playing on that D side of the puck. No goals, and obviously you're not expecting goals out of your defensemen, but come playoff time, 3-4 years down the road, you're going to need your D-men to step up in big situations. So I'd like to see them start shooting the puck a little bit more. That's what I like about Korshinsky's game. He's aggressive and he's willing to, go into the zone a little bit like Seth Jones, set up the I wouldn't say power play because he's not on the power play, but moves into the zone with confidence, which is good thing to see. Moves well through the neutral zone. So we got our other rookie, Wyatt Kaiser. He -3 plus minus, so it's not terrible, but like to start seeing him shoot the puck a little bit more. It's really about all these young guys for me. I don't care so much about how guys like Seth Jones and Connor Murphy are doing, because I know they're probably not going to be with us 3-4 years down the road from now. Same thing like Jared Tenorti. I do like Jared Tenorti a lot. He puts his body on the line for the team. Selfless player. So we do have that veteran leadership. You see when a young guy like Bedard gets hit or is getting chirped at, these guys step up, and it's good to see out of the boys. Other than that, Hawks are 3-6 right now. I think that's where a lot of people expected them to be. They're going to be at the bottom of the Western Conference. We're still 2 to 3 years away from not just contending, but playoffs in general. I don't think they'd make the playoffs next year either. They're going to need a lot more pieces, especially offensively. Like our bottom 2 lines, not too pleased with what Luke Richardson's doing at the lines. I like how aggressive Luke Richardson, especially on the penalty kill in those situations when we're down a guy. I think he's a hell of a coach, but I'd like to see some lines get mixed up. Like I mentioned before, I'd like to see Bedard and Reichel on that same line. Reichel hasn't done anything, literally anything, since the season started. And with the guy that has that much talent, he's so fast, so quick. He needs to get up the ice and produce more for the Hawks. And it's not just his fault; it's line mates too. I mean, he's playing with guys that aren't true NHL players. Some of these guys are AHLers. But I would like to see Richardson's move some things. I'd like to see Nick Foligno on that top line too. Just a veteran guy that can play with the Bedard. Foligno had a really good game the other day. It was just, I think it was against Vegas. Making some moves that you just wouldn't see out of a crafty veteran like him. But other than that, I mean, it's Corey Perry's he's shown his physical side. He's added a lot of physicality for the Hawks these first few weeks. Trying to think. I mean, let's see. And Andreas Anastasiou, I like to see him start producing a little bit more. But guys like Reese Johnson, Mackenzie Iose, Boris Kachuk, he's when he's played, he's looked quick out there, which is good to see. But I don't think these are guys of our future. Obviously Corey Perry and Foligno won't be either, but I like what I've seen out of Radish. He's been quick. He's helped. I believe he had Luke Richardson had him on the line with Bedard the other night. I could be wrong, but or maybe it's Kurashev. I forget. But it was good to have Kurashev back too. Yeah, I think he had got his first goal against Vegas. I think it was the overtime winner. Yeah, he had the overtime winner against Vegas. So good to see him back out there. Um, Other than that, I don't have much. New episode coming out next week. I'll have a guest speaker. Excited to have him out on the show. Huge Hawks fan. We're always texting throughout the game, so excited for you guys to get a look at him. But other than that, appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to like the video, subscribe. See you next week.